Damn, guys. God damn it. I'm both happy and sad today after watching Spy X Family because we're not getting the dog this season. Oh my lord. I'm upset about that. I wanted the season to end so badly with Anya getting the dog. I don't want to say his name because that's a spoiler, but I'm so sad about that. It looks like we're going to be starting off the second core with him. But man, we still had quite a fun episode today that sets up a lot of good things for the future, as I was just saying. So, as you guessed it, guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here to talk about Spy X Family episode 11 today. And, damn. On top of not getting the dog, Spy X Family's also almost over, man. Can you believe it? Can you believe it's been 11 weeks already since this series has started? That's crazy to me. It feels like this season has honestly flown by compared to other seasons. And I couldn't tell you why. Just we've had so many good series, I guess, that it's just it feels like they come and go too quickly. But enough of that. We're here to talk about episode 11 today. So let's just get right on into it. Now, our episode this week begins a little tensely, I might add, with Loid looking over Anya's test scores while she's watching Bondman. And she knows. She's just sitting there like, don't say anything to me, don't say anything to me. Because she knows she's going to get rimmed out. And Loid says, hey, Anya. And she immediately knows what's up and starts running away like, no, I don't want to study. Because her scores are not that good, to say the least. She's kind of failing everything. And Loid's freaking out a bit. He's like, man, I gotta get this girl to get Stella stars, no matter what. Operation Strix is riding on this. And he starts thinking to himself, like, alright, good grades aren't the only way to get Stella stars. So we go through a fun little montage where he's like, that's right, art! It's a good way to get Stella stars. They start drawing a bit, and Anya's, of course, super happy about this. So they start drawing, she's doing a drawing, and Loid's like, wow, is that a cheetah or a panda? That's so good! And she's like, that's a cow. That's the cow from our previous episode. And, you know, it was very artistically drawn, let's say that. So then we switch over to music, because music's another way to get a star. So Anya's playing the violin, and she's just absolutely killing it, guys. But in actuality, she sucks terribly and breaks all the strings. So Loid's like, alright, if that doesn't work, let's try sports, you know? Academics are what can get stars. So Anya starts doing some exercises, you know? And, she's not a very physical person, let's say that. It doesn't quite go well. So Loid is kind of at his wit's end. But then he kind of has to remind himself, like, hey, we're not in a rush here to do this. Like, we got a little bit of time. Then he remembers what Handler says. And she tells him, hey, preferably we'd like you to get all of the Stella stars within 4 months. So Loid's like, damn, do we really have some time to be loitering around like this? We gotta, like, hustle. And it's at this moment he thinks of one extra thing when he sees how determined Anya is to do her best for him. He remembers one extra thing, and that's community service. You can get a Stella star from doing outstanding deeds for people. So he's like, alright, if she sucks at everything else, let's try to make her get a star from doing good deeds, you know, from helping people out. So they end up going to a hospital. And they get assigned some jobs, you know. Anya's kind of happy about it. She's like, hey, I can do this. But, it never really works out like you think it will it? Because, she can't do shit right. She can't put books on herself because she starts reading the manga. She can't clean up a room because she ends up breaking stuff. She can't do laundry because she ends up falling asleep on it. So on and so forth. And to the point where she runs into the head person at the hospital and she's like, alright, I've had enough. You need to get the hell out of my hospital. So her and Loid are leaving very dejected. And Loid's like, man, what can we do? Can we do anything? Can I get this girl a star somehow? And it's at this moment we see a mother and a son walk by. Now this son apparently hurt his leg because he's on a crutch. And he has to go to physical therapy in the pool. And as someone who's been through physical therapy before, it's tough, guys. It's definitely tough. The mom even says that herself. It's tough, but if you want to walk again, you got to do it. So we transition to them going to the pool. And unfortunately, the kid falls in while the mother is changing. And no one sees it happening. And he starts drowning. But Anya, being a psychic, as we know, hears him drowning. And she tells Loid, freaking out, of course, she tells Loid, like, hey, I may not be good at all this stuff, but I'm going to go swimming and all that, so I'll wait for you. As an excuse, because she doesn't want anyone to know she's psychic. Because she has to make this quick excuse that she runs off to try to save this kid. And she gets to the pool and she sees that he's drowning. So she immediately jumps in and tries to help him. Really showing that she's quite fearless, honestly, and a very good person. And as she's swimming to him, she's trying so desperately to get to him, but she can't swim herself. And it's essentially become a case where you have to save two people. And right before she starts drowning herself, we see Loid jump in and save both of them. Now, of course, he's worried, but he's also proud of Anya at the same time. He's like, I'm glad you were able to see him, Anya. And everyone's freaking out like, oh my lord, we didn't see this happening. But like I said, Loid starts praising Anya. And it's in this moment that Anya gets her first Stella star, baby. The birth of Starlight Anya is here. Quite a funny scene. We see everyone super happy for her. Becky's like, yeah, go Anya. And then we see Damien in the corner. He's so pissed. He's like, that little freaking brat beat me to it. Ugh. And, it's just a good thing. Anya did a good thing and she earned herself a star. We transition to their home, where apparently that kid and his family came to visit them to thank them again. And Anya and the whole family's out there just thanking them back. And Yor starts praising her, and even Loid starts praising her, saying, I feel so proud right now. Like, I just stopped a terrorist threat. I feel so unbelievably proud. And it's at this moment that Anya, I think, for the first time realizes that, hey, I can use my psychic powers to help people for once. And we see just an absolutely brilliant smile from her in this moment. That really, it made me happy to see. I remember even in the manga reading this. This was a good chapter. Because we got to see this unfiltered, just full-blown smile. And it was great. But all good things do not last. Because we transition to the next day where she goes to school. And Anya just completely thinks she's the shit now. She's walking around, beaming with her fucking grin like she does. And, oh man, she's completely gotten full of herself. As I said, the birth of Starlight Anya is here. And as they're in class, people are starting to spread rumors. They're like, there's no way this girl got a star. There's no way. She must have cheated. She probably pushed him in the water to save him to get a star. There's no way she could get a star before anyone else. And these girls even asked Damien, like, hey, you think she cheated too, right? You got to. And we get one of our rare moments where Damien is a fucking good dude. And he just flat out says, you think our school would make a mistake like that? Do you think we're some third-rate school that would just hand these out or let you pay for them? Like, are you dumb? If you don't like the school, you can just leave. And he defended her. And of course, everyone around them's thinking, oh, wow, look at Damien. He's so cool. But in actuality, he's sitting there like, I'm so pissed off. How did this brat beat me? But it's good to see this side of Damien every once in a while, too, guys. He really will get flushed out much, much more later on, but It's just really good to see that he's just not like a complete dick for no reason. And we'll really get into that probably in the second half of our season in a couple months, but we'll save that for then. But anyway, at lunch that day, Becky asked Anya, like, hey, what do you want to do for your reward for your Stella star? And Anya's like, what? Because Becky reveals that, yeah, if you do something good, don't your parents usually give you a reward? Like, look at all this nice shit I've gotten on because of my last test. I got a dress and a tiara. I got a fucking pink tank. Like, what did you get, Anya? And she's like, huh, maybe I could get a year's supply of peanuts? She's like, no, think grander than that. And then she tells her what her best gift was. She said, my best gift that I've ever gotten was our dog. And Anya starts thinking, like, maybe I do want a dog. So she poses that question to Loid and Yor that night at home. And I love when Yor starts thinking of stuff, guys. And it's just completely over the top and ridiculous. Like, she starts thinking, oh, but maybe the dog would maul her. Or something like that. I'd be worried about that. And then we see the little dog with the knife in its mouth just slicing her throat. I love Yor. Yor's great. Her ridiculousness is fantastic. But Loid starts thinking, like, I guess I could ask the agency to get us a well-trained dog for her. We could probably figure something out. And our episode ends with us going to what looks like a shelter for animals. And animals that are not treated very well, apparently, because these two douchebags are just just treating these dogs like shit, honestly. And we transition over to this one dog who apparently kind of gets a vision of the Forger family. Now, I wonder who that would be. And no, I'm just completely kidding, guys. My boy! They showed my boy! That's why I'm so sad that he's not going to be the final episode. Like, But that's how our episode ends, with us getting a good look at my boy, the dog. Now, I know you guys aren't dumb. You probably know about the dog already. I'm not going to go into specifics or tell you his name, but it's going to be great. And I'll be honest, I didn't think our final episode of the season would be this last episode that we're getting if you saw the preview of the next one, because if I remember right, this is like a little side chapter in the manga. It was like a very end of a volume, like quick story chapter. I guess you really would call it a side chapter. So I'm really surprised they're making it a full episode, honestly. But I'm not upset. It's a great chapter. It'll be a good way for us to end Season 1. Even though I'm sad Season 1 is coming to an end. And I say Season 1, but it's really the first core. People get that confused all the time. Multiple cores of a show does not mean Season 1, Season 2. Like, this is when we get the next part of Spy X Family in a couple months, it will still be Season 1. It will just be Part 2. For instance, Mushoku Tensei only has one season. It's just broken into 2 parts. ReZero does not have 3 seasons. It has 2 seasons, but Season 2 is broken into 1 part. So on and so forth. But anyway, you guys let me know what you thought of this episode down below. How do you feel about Anya finally getting a Stella star? You think she'll get more Stellas before she gets Torner's bolts? She's tied right now. She's got 1 of each. So, you guys let me know down below what you think. And just overall, what you think of this show, guys. I'm so sad it's coming to an end, but it's so good. So let me know down below what you think. And that'll be it for today's episode, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, week, month, and year. And until our final next week of Spy X Family, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Deuces, and just have a blessed one.